What time is it?
Moments of Inspiration with Zoe.
Hey fam, it's another episode of Moments of Inspiration, and I hope you're ready for another week full of victories and possibilities that lie ahead of you. Bringing you greetings from the beautiful city of Charlotte, North Carolina, the Queen City. Another beautiful fall day out here in the uptown area, and I just want to talk with you briefly about something very important, and it's called the enemy within. You know, many of us talk about enemies and think that they come from outside sources, but that's not always the case. Many times that's not the case. Many times the enemy is within, and we have to deal with ourselves about various circumstances and different things of that nature to make sure that we come out on the winning side. And there's a short story I have to share with you about this carpenter. He was a carpenter for decades, many years. He was a man of excellence, man of high character. He did his work the right way. He didn't take shortcuts. And so he finally notified his boss that he was going to retire because he wanted to spend more time with his family and do some other things that he's been wanting to do. And obviously the boss was very I shouldn't say depressed, but he was sad that he was losing a very, very good worker. And so the boss told him, well, since you're going to do this, I'm going to ask you for one more favor. And that favor was to build one more house. And so reluctantly, the carpenter said, okay, I'll do it. But this time, the carpenter was pretty much outside of his character building the house. He began to cut corners. He used inferior products and inexpensive products just to get the work done speedily. As you could tell, he probably was tired. He was unfocused. He was ready to do something else, and he didn't give it his best this go round. So eventually, after he finished the project, the boss came in, he looked at it. On the outside, it looked really great, what he did. And so the boss handed him the keys to the house. And he told him, this is my gift to you for the many years of hard work and sacrifice that you've given. You've done an excellent job. You worked in excellence, and this is my gift to you. And the carpenter was absolutely blown away at the great gesture. He was not expecting that. And had he would have known that this house was for him, he would have done things differently. And so this is the moral of this story, because it has more to do with him than anything else. And so once again, after he finished the house and the boss came and looked at it and gave him the keys, of course, like I mentioned earlier, he was very shocked at what transpired. He was very shocked at this gift. And of course, it was a very, very great gesture that was given to him from his boss. But with that, the moral of the story is simply this. Every day that we are blessed to wake up offers an opportunity for us to give our best. Let me say that again. Every day we are blessed to wake up offers an opportunity for us to give our best. Let's not get caught slipping and cutting corners and not giving our best. Every day is a gift. Every day is an opportunity to give our best. If we find ourselves doing mediocre work for whatever the reason and the case is, even if we're tired, even if we're depressed, even if we're distracted, it doesn't matter what the case is. But when we find ourselves doing mediocre work, then we will discover that the house or the life we've built will have unnecessary flaws due to our lack of effort. That's pretty deep, and that's something that we need to make sure we understand. Once again, if we find ourselves doing mediocre work, then we will discover that the house or the life that we have built will have unnecessary flaws due to our lack of effort. That's a heavy responsibility to take. In other words, mediocrity is expensive. Why? Because you're going to have to go back and redo what should have been done right the first time. That's the effort in relationships. That's the effort in different characteristics in our life. It's very important that we take the time and the energy to do it right the very first time. In other words, our attitude and choices help build the life that we will live tomorrow. So it behooves us to build carefully. All right? And the scripture I have for you today is Colossians chapter 3, verse 23. And I'm going to summarize it for you. And it says, whatever you do, do it with all of your heart. Whatever you do it with all of your heart. I have a couple of keys here for you, and I'm going to be done. Number one is to understand that our work and our life attitudes are about you. It's about me. It's never about the other person. Our attitudes towards our work and towards our life, it's always about you and me, never the other person. That's very important to understand that. Number two, when we blame others, it literally weakens and strips us of our strength and productivity. Never use someone else as a scapegoat. Never put the blame on anybody else for your shortcomings. That's very important. Number three, and probably the most important, realize that you have the power on the inside of you. How is that? Because when you finally decide to do something, everything else follows your choice. Everything else follows your decisions. Your body follows and other people follows the decisions that you make, the choices that you make. You are very powerful. Don't ever let anybody tell you differently. Don't ever let anybody make you think that you're inferior. I love you so much, and as I always say, something good is going to happen to you. God bless.
Moments of Inspiration with Zoe.